In the Torah portion, you may have noticed the descendants of Midian. And then it has some names here. The one that pops out to me immediately is this Enoch or Hanuk. And these were the descendants of Keturah, which is another name for Hagar, the concubine of Abraham. It's interesting, we know that Jethro was the priest of Midian. It mentions many times in the Torah. And actually, when you look up in some Midrash, so we have the descendants of Midian. One of the sons is Enoch or Hanuk. And it says here, the sons of Hanuk were Ruel. Ruel is one of the names of Jethro. You can see here, and many times on this channel especially. But there are also other Ruels, like in the Canaanite or Edomite or Esav genealogy from Genesis 36. You can see Bashemet bore Ruel to Esav. Interesting as well, when you search again, you can find Hanuk's name here. And Hanuk, you will remember, is from Genesis 5, from the birth of Enoch, or Hanuk. And then he went on to live 65 years, begot Methuselah, and famously Enoch walked with God for 300 years, and all of his years came to 365. There is another Enoch or Hanuk, though, from Cain, and we know that Jethro is the Canaanite. And here we can see Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch, or Hanuk. You can see it's virtually the same spelling. The only difference is this Vav here versus the Vav being missing and just kind of being added to the front as if to say and. But it would sound the same. So we can find Enoch there in Genesis 4 and 5, as well as 25, and in other places as well. It's interesting to me in Genesis 4, so Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch or Hanuk, and then he has Methuselah, and Methuselah begot Lamech, and of course in Genesis 5, Enoch has Methuselah, and then Methuselah has Lamech. So there's a name thing going on in Genesis 4 or 5, and there's different opinions. Some say they're the same people, some say they're different people. And again, there are more hints that this there's some like Canaanite, Jethro influence here. The descendants of Midian, again, same verse. You can find not only Elkanah, who is a Canaanite himself, but you can find Potiphar here mentioned, because he bought Joseph, famously. Potiphar has the name Poti, which is one of Jethro's names, Potiel, but it's known by some of the sages that actually Potiphar from Genesis is Jethro. I would argue it could be Jethro or Ruel, his father. And there's another hint that Potiphar is Jethro as well. We know that Heber the Canaanite, or Heber the Canaanite, is either Jethro or one of his descendants or his son. It could be Jethro, though, because we know Jethro had this name. Heber the Canaanite in Gematria is 385, which is a match for Potiphar. So not only does he have one of his names in there, it's a match for another one of Jethro's names. And we know that Potiphar is Jethro from the sources, which are quite rare. But in this video by Yiboneh, by Rabbi Aaron David Poston, entitled "Who is Pinchas's grandfather and why does it matter?" We know that Pinchas's grandfather was Jethro, and he says in this video, he points out that the source, Jethro is Potiphar, Potiphar is Jethro. I highly recommend this channel, by the way. It's the one that I probably listen to the most.